All right, what's up, sports bettors? Another video from Math-Based Bets. Today we're going to look at the month of October, my results sports betting using the positive expected value page on OddsJam, and then look at a cumulative view of the first 2 months of this challenge so far, to be as profitable as possible using math and statistics to make money sports betting. So looking at my dashboard here, you can see total profit is up to a little over $3,000 so far. ROI still pretty consistent at the 14% mark, and beating the closing line value still around 64% of the time. So great numbers so far. Really happy to be consistent with the ROI here. Definitely running a little bit over expected value, but have been pretty consistent so far. And like I said, going to look at the month of October, see what kind of bets we placed, where we won and where we lost. And then we'll look at a combined view of September and October, the first 2 months of this challenge, following the positive expected value page on OddsJam, paired with variable bet sizing from the Kelly criterion calculator. November so far, a few days in, recording this on November 3rd, and I've had some good days so far. So November shaping up to look good. Let's hope that continues. So as you can see, have made just ballpark around $1,000 per month the last 2 months. Obviously September was a little below that, October a little bit above that. So how exactly am I doing that? Well, I'm using OddsJam, as you can see, and I'm using the positive EV page here on their site. My favorite tool. Definitely a lot of other great tools in here that maybe we can take another look at in a different video. But my area of focus is on the plus EV page. So this page is spitting out mathematically profitable bets based on a number of factors, comparing to the sharp books like Pinnacle, as well as thousands of data points of back testing and historical data that OddsJam has that they're able to compile here. So when these bets spit out on this page, first thing I'm doing is using the recommended filters to see the highest win rate bets that we can find. And you can see I already took this bet, as noted by the check mark here, but I'll be scanning, and my particular method, and hopefully a contributing factor to the consistent ROI, is I like to look for bets that, one, are on the recommended page, but two, when the favorite pick has plus odds on a particular bet, in this case it's on Fox Bet, those are my favorite types of bets to place. If it's the underdog and I can get better odds, obviously there's great value, and I do take bets like that, but these are my favorites. So another example down here, not as high of a expected value here, but this is the favorite at minus odds, but we're able to get plus money on a number of books here. So that's one I would consider taking. This one, I lose, pretty consistently on tennis bets, but this is one I take a look at just by the virtue of the fact that the favorite, we can get plus money odds on a different page. So, every morning, and when I have time throughout the day, I'm checking this page, looking for bets that meet my criteria, specifically on the recommended filters page. And I also turn those off and take a look at other opportunities. Here's one I just mentioned, really great betting opportunity here. So the over on this bet, Pinnacle, Super Sharp Sportsbook, and Bet Online have as a heavy favorite, and we can get actually plus money odds on Bet Rivers and some other books here. So this is what I'm taking. I mean, crazy percent, expected percent profit margin here. So although this isn't on the recommended filters, probably because of the variance in scoring, a point in hockey, low scoring game generally, might not show up on the recommended filters, but it's one that I'm certainly going to bet a certain amount on. Another one here, I'm outside of Philly here, so definitely like betting on the Eagles. This is another one here where, okay, so it looks like these odds have moved by virtue of the fact that this, was a great bet. The favorite at -120, we can get at much better odds here on BetMGM. So another bet I would probably take a look at. And I'm placing those bets in my sports book. I'm tracking them here on the bet tracker on OddsJam. And you can see if I scroll down, so far a sample size with OddsJam on the plus EV page of just over 1,500 bets. So definitely a statistically significant sample size at this point. And to have remained consistently profitable, I think the proof is in the numbers there. So if I go back to the dashboard quickly, you can see on the weekly view here, you can see where we, started picking up our bet sizing throughout the month of September. I was really just validating the systems and, my system as well for betting with much smaller unit sizing in this previous section. So it's pretty evident, September is where we picked up the unit size. So with that said, let's take a look at the month of October, and then we'll take a look at a roll up of the first 2 months of this challenge so far. So in October, definitely got a decent amount of bets in, around about 353 bets with positive expected value placed throughout the month. Pretty good. I think a little bit less, a little bit fewer bets than September. And in the summary view, you can see we'll just note that the monthly totals look slightly different in my analysis. That's just due to how my model is calculating for refunds and voids and canceled games and things like that. So something I'll take a look at to make sure this lines up better. So total profit loss for the month was actually at $1,157, close enough for our purposes here. So definitely a great month, my biggest winning month so far, though, as I mentioned, only recently have picked up the bet sizing and unit sizing. So, we can expect bigger wins and bigger losses throughout this as well. You can see overwhelmingly placed plus money bets, and by almost twice the amount. And you can see all of the winnings for this month were for plus money bets, which is very interesting to me. Out of those 121, a little bit more, as I said, based on cancellations, refunds, and things. Overall losing from negative. And if you look at all of the sports here, on the plus money side and the minus money side, only basketball minus money bets were able to generate a profit, and meager numbers compared to the plus money bets. Whereas on the plus money side, obviously we won in all sports that we placed bets. So I think this is pretty crazy to see. With $1,100 profit and 1,200 won on plus money bets, and the minuses or the favorites losing generally is just interesting and something to consider. So the most actually interesting, almost an exact tie here between basketball and football. Football has been really profitable. Really enjoying betting on that so far. You can see minimal losses. Basketball, overall success on both sides of the aisle. Hockey has been tricky. I think generally I'm finding a system that's working with hockey and just minimizing some of the losses I had previously. Definitely harder, I think, for me, someone who's not as familiar with hockey, to bet great bets there. So I do let the numbers do the talking and follow the math for those exclusively. So taking a look at the types of bets that I placed and where we were winning and losing. Here you can see we're looking at the winning bets for the month, and some noteworthy ones where I had a bit of a larger sample. Player rebounds in the NBA, 17 bets throughout the month, went 10-7, won over $100 with that, which is great. A few other noteworthy winners. The player points market, high sample size Lost a bit more than we won, but still were able to generate a small profit on that. Combos for points, rebound, assists. 7-6, won almost $90 on that out of 13 bets. So count that as a win. Point spread, more of a main market here. Another good win. So also let's take a look at the losses. So biggest loss so far is total points on the NFL. I think so I went 0-5, probably was taking the over based on how a lot of the games shaped up. But yeah, definitely the biggest loser in terms of market for this month. Also, 0-1 on money line. I think lost this for the Bengals, which was a heavy favorite. Looking back, although it did have positive expected value, this may have been one to skip. And then looking at the odds, as I mentioned, we overwhelmingly won on plus money bets, but a few I think are interesting to look at. So player points in the NBA, we had 20 plus money bets, 8 negative money bets, and I mean, look at the profit and loss here. So overwhelmingly more bets placed on the plus money side. So a smaller win per bet here, but only 8 bets on the minus money side. And, we scraped out a small profit, but, mostly wiped out the profit that we won on these 20 bets with the minus money bets. So interesting to see. Something I'll be looking at as we continue through the NBA season. A few other ones to note here. So NFL, we had just two money line bets. One was losing on the Bengals. Don't recall who he won. This could have been the Jets. Jets money line. So overall winning there. Would love to see more money lines come through with some plus EV to take advantage of, because I do like the main markets. We've been winning a lot with player props and some alternate markets, but I do love the opportunity to bet the main markets. So I think that's all we'll look at for October. Again, great month. According to OddsJam, $1,157 profit. And now let's just take a quick look at the entire challenge so far, the past 2 months. So in total for September and October, we placed 692 bets, all with positive expected value. And to summarize, the overall profit loss, right around $2,000. Again, this number is slightly lower than the true profit, but right around there. So just about $2,000 profit, about $1,000 per month the past 2 months. Placed, again, almost twice the amount of plus money bets than minus money bets. And the profits are pretty clear where we're actually winning the money from. So of these almost 700 bets in these markets, where are we winning and losing the most? So baseball winning overall for the past 2 months, actually winning more money on minus money bets, even though we placed about 100 fewer. Basketball winning on both sides as well, placed significantly more plus money bets, so one more there as well. Football, same story here, winning a lot more on plus money, had again almost twice the amount of bets on the plus money side. Hockey is a smaller sample size, but I mentioned this already. Tough to bet, and actually losing overall on the favorite or minus money bets, some pick'ems in there as well, and something to take a closer look at as we get more of a sample size. One MMA bet we lost, I don't remember what that was. I think it was a fight to end in the first few rounds that went long. A soccer bet that we won, again, don't recall what this was, but not something statistically significant. And then tennis, something I'm trying to claw back from. Obviously not doing well in the past 2 months. You can see that About even in terms of plus versus minus money bets placed in tennis, but losing a ton here on the minus money. So something to look at further as well. So in the past 2 months, want to look at some markets where we've made a good amount of money and where we've lost some money. So obviously baseball winding down now with the World Series. But total runs, one of the main markets for baseball, pretty good sample size for the past 2 months as far as my data. We won 18, lost 10, profited 200. Pretty decent profit for player props in the player bases market. Team total, again, another main market where you call this an alternate market, I suppose. But went 23 and 17, won about 150 bucks. Parlay, I don't think is worth noting, although we did go 4-0 on plus EV parlays. They were pretty small. One was a same game parlay shared by Matt Modi on the Odds Jam team that I decided to tail. And we won, so that was great. I would also look at NBA, so player rebounds. This is a type of bet, this market I've been taking a lot of recently. We've been 10 and 7 for 118 bucks profit. Here for football point spread, 50-50 win rate, but obviously able to profit $64. So that's great. That tells me a lot of plus money bets there. Total points in college football, 23 and 14. Also a little bit over $100 profited. And now let's, I think, take a look at some of the losses. So as I said, baseball obviously winding down, so fewer bets recently. But player strikeouts, this is a market I've mentioned in previous videos that I have struggled with. Went 14 and 20 in total last 2 months, down about 190 on this market. One, I think I need to analyze further and try to see if I can figure out exactly why I'm losing those. Is that just due to variance? Or am I, really making a mistake when I take some of those bets? First half run line as well, losing overall, not the biggest sample size, but went 3 and 6, down just over $80. Here we have total points in the NFL. Overall, losing on those, went 2 and 6. Football season just getting started, so sample size definitely should creep up. And then anybody who's seen previous videos should not be surprised by my losses on tennis so far. You can see, every tennis market that we have here is losing overall, though most noteworthy is total games. I play tennis and grew up playing tennis, and I've looked at some of the bets that pop up on the plus EV screen on Odds Jam and the over-unders that they give on these tennis games. I think are just a little unrealistic in terms of how games actually play out, but I've been, following the math regardless. So another one just to look into. And then, as we've seen, definitely winning more on the plus money side than the minus money side. And this is one I wanted to point out specifically. So NBA player points, sample size of 28 bets for the past 2 months. You can see that we placed 20 plus money bets and 8 minus money bets. And just look at how those losses on the minus money side just evaporated our profits in this particular market. So, skated through with about 25 bucks, but just really interesting to note. Something I want to take a deeper look into. Basketball point spread, again, went 6 and 6 in terms of plus versus minus money bets, but kind of the opposite case here. Actually lost on plus money and $100 or so in profit on the minus money bets. So something a little bit interesting in a different market there. There's a few obviously where we are winning on both sides with a decent sample size. So college football total points, pretty good amount of bets here. Actually winning more on the minus money side. That could be a characteristic of college versus professional football. That could be just due to variance. So another thing I want to take a look at and just compare these markets over time based on the odds. So I think we're going to call it there. I do want to just mention that I am on Twitter at math-based bets. Definitely give me a follow over here. Every day, usually in the morning, I post my bet slips for the day. I do occasionally add some throughout the day that don't warrant a second post, but if you want to see what I'm betting each day as I'm betting it, definitely follow me here. Also post videos here, some results that you could have seen ahead of time as well. And I would say also follow OddsJam. They follow and retweet a bunch of creators and people in the betting space that have a lot of value to be shared. So give them a follow. You can track me down there as well. So yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.